So, good evening, beautiful souls. I thought I would jump on and come and say hello and do a daily video. I haven't done a walking video in probably about a week now. We've been really busy with doing lots of stuff and with everything that's going on in the background. So I thought Sam's on another sit over at another house. We've been out for the day. Dylan's been doing boxing and stuff in the park. A couple of guys come down with the tents and everything, and they set the tents up, and all the kids went there, and they were doing boxing and boxing ring set up and stuff in the park. It was really good for him. He's been doing that the last few days actually, so that's been really good for him. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of come on, and we've had some ups and downs the past few months, really since April, May. We've had quite a few ups and downs, but this road isn't as easy as what people think. You do have your tough times. You do have your let me just move forward a bit. You do have your tough times. You do have the times when things do get a little bit tough, and I think that's when things kind of teach you a little bit about a few different things. So I thought, well, I've just come back to the house where I'm sitting, and there was a bottle of red wine staring at me. So I thought I'd have a glass and sit down and have my talk for the day. So it's been really tough with the previous web developers not actually providing us with a working platform to use for our Guardians tribe. That left us in a whole heap of mess, and it was up and down, and we didn't really know what to do. We're 3-4 grand out of pocket, with no real resolution of what we're going to do next. Are we going to get the money back? What's going to be the situation, and try and get the money back, and everything like that. And in May, just as we arrived in Torquay in May, we actually submitted all the evidence to the bank, and 6 weeks later, we was told in an email that they couldn't open the file, and they can't open zip files, despite that's what we was told to provide them in evidence. Anyway, we've been going backwards and forwards for the last month yet again, really. We've sent them the evidence 6 times now, and there was still no reply. The only thing they did reply to is, because we escalated it to the disputes and complaints department, we eventually got an email back from them saying, we can't deal with your request. I think it's going to be easier if you go and deal with the financial ombudsman, which was great. And that just sums up the bank entirely. They're too lazy. They didn't want to do anything. So we've really been taking a step back, kind of reevaluating what we're going to do, how we're going to proceed. We know that's definitely what we wanted to do. It was just a case of how, when, and how this is going to how we're going to make this work. So once we arrived here in Worthing, we kind of met up with a new developer, Caroline, sorry. We've met up with her. She's agreed to help us get the website started. So we're basically redesigning the whole platform, which took us almost a year, from complete scratch again. So it's back to the drawing board. Although we've got our ideas and things in place, there's a lot more that we're going to be aligning in this new build that we kind of may not have been in the last build. So we've had the freedom really to start from scratch with a developer that understands what we need, and is willing to put the effort, the time, and the work in alongside us, to get this new platform built. So I'm touch wood. Hopefully, it should be built by the end of the year. We're not quite sure on how long, but we're going to do it in stages. So we realistically want to get up and running first of all. So we just have a few plans to get us up and running, get us live, get us launched. And then the other things that we wanted to add on in the background will come along, straight after the platform's live. Then we'll start working on the other ones, and then so on and so forth. But one thing we did want to do is open up globally. The only country realistically that we're not going to be opening up to are places like America, New Zealand, and maybe Australia because of the issues with visas and stuff like that. Um, it's just a bit of a pain and so many loopholes, and everything's kind of up in the air for America at the moment. So we're mainly going to be Europe and surrounding countries are going to be fine. That we're going to be opening up to. So that's a massive step forwards as well from what we did plan with the last platform build. Obviously, we've changed the name from Guardians UK to the Guardians Tribe. If you are following our journey either on Facebook, TikTok, or wherever it may be, YouTube, you notice that we are starting to build a tribe of people around us. Being on this sovereign journey, on this homemade world education kind of journey, it can get a bit lonely. We're in one place for a little while, although we see lots of people and build relationships with people. They're kind of not many that we kind of can not many that were on the kind of same wavelength as. Lots of people look at us and ask a question and go, wow, what an amazing life you live, but they don't really understand it. They are really intrigued, and some of them have reached out and said, we are looking at living the sort of life you and obviously me, Sam, and Dylan do. So what we thought we'd do is we'd gather a tribe together. This is in business and at personal tribe as well. So obviously the Guardians Tribe now, that's the house and pet sitting platform. We're gathering a tribe of Guardians that will house and pet sit across the world there. And we've also created on Facebook the Sovereign Family Tribe. So this is for people that are just starting to look at walking this path. They might be already on the path. They might know what to do, how to expect things to happen. What are the differences kind of between home education and homeschooling, world education, road schooling, wild learning. There's a whole heap of names up there that do different things. As you've probably gathered, me and Sam have come away from the term schooling. We have taken our children, if you're on the same path as us on the home kind of education path, we've taken our children out of a school system. So why would you then put them back into a school system, which is a homeschooling or a world schooling, where you might, set up a school within your house, with boards and charts and things like that. Doesn't appeal to us. Our children don't get on in a school education. So why take them out of that? Think you're doing the right thing by putting them into the same thing, albeit in different surrounds. I know some people get on like it. Some people kind of, that they like that idea. We don't. We are child led. Dylan teaches us, as you heard me say in many videos, what he wants to learn about. We go for walks in nature. We don't go to the beach. We learn different things. Dylan's picked up his creative writing again. Now I've written our first book, which should be published soon. The cover's just being designed as we speak. It's being formatted and then ready to be published, hopefully by the end of the week. So Dylan's picked up the bow again. He's going to be writing his own little stories from his point of view, little child-led stories. I've got space ready for him on the website called The Children's Corner. So once that's ready, you can go on and see what he's learning there. I was looking in a Facebook group today with someone saying, how often do you do schoolwork if you're homeschooling? And, the answer to us is never, but it depends what you kind of label schoolwork as. Does Dylan sit down and write? Yes, he does. Does he, learn, geography? Yes, he does. When he's planning our routes going from different places and different countries. Does he use his maths? Yes, he does, because he budgets, for the train fare or, for our travel, for the excursions we want to do there. Shopping, so yes, he does his maths. It's just dependent on how you perceive schoolwork as. He does everything that he would learn at school and more, just in a completely different way that he responds to. And I think that's the thing. You've got to do something that your child responds to. There's no good sticking them behind a desk looking at charts, studying workbooks. If they didn't respond to that in school, Oh, sorry, the camera's just flipped round. So if they didn't respond to that at school, then they're not going to respond to that um, in a home environment. And because you're still sticking workbooks in front of them, and you are still kind of, you're putting charts up on the wall and things like that. So you've got to do what the child responds to. Let me just see if I can switch this back around. Yeah, thank you. Not quite sure what happened then. I've got the AI motion sensors on, it just spun itself round. So you've got to do what your child wants to do, and that's how they will kind of respond to you, and they will take in the information that you're teaching them or that you're learning and you're learning together. One of the biggest things that I would say is that you would need to do first is unschool yourself first. Take the school system and the way of learning completely out the equation. Um, because it does tend to start to creep back in, but you just have to kick it back out. We're not in a classroom, we're not under, UV lights or fluorescent lights, I should say. And, we're not, Dylan doesn't learn by being, told that he needs to do this or he needs to do that. He learns when he's interested in something, like most children do, don't they? Children learn when they're interested in something. So, that's when you learn, and that's when you take them down the beach, you take them to the forest, and the world is our classroom, and that's the best kind of the best way to learn, we find. Um, so, we're creating this tribe. I'm creating lots of books, tools, resources, um, from our journey that will help everybody else. We've created an online section on the Nomad Family website now for the Sovereign Family Tribe. Um, it's got all your bits on there. Places where you can go to for the books and the guides and everything else that I am creating myself. We are having campfire calls once a month, every last Sunday of the month, where everybody can tune in and we can sit down and have a discussion online. Listen to what you've been doing, what we've been doing throughout the last month. This is open to everyone, whether you're new at this, whether you've been doing this for a couple of years like we have. We want to build this community around us, ready to live in this new world that we are creating together. And it's a world of sovereignty, of freedom, and it's an amazing world once you live in it. It really is. And I think we just want to help more and more people understand how we live our life, why we choose to live our life this way, and how that you can do it too. You will need to register for these calls. They are going to be YouTube streamed directly onto the website. It will be as an unlisted video, so it's not open to everybody. Only those that do register through the website. So pop on to Nomad Family Tales of Adventure.online. Have a look for the Sovereign Family Tribe page, and all the details are explained in there. So, it has been a real roller coaster this month with everything I've been, what with the banking situation that eventually they're now looking at, which could take another 12 weeks. But, it is what it is. We haven't sat still. We've kept moving with different plans and building this community, this tribe. And, we want this to be, a global tribe, a global community of people from, every walk of life that are looking at this way or are walking this path. And you know what? It's going to be absolutely free. I know a lot of groups put out that, yes, you can join this for a subscription. Even Facebook groups now, people are charging subscriptions for. We're not doing none of that. Our online Facebook group is a closed group. It's a closed community, again, called the Sovereign Tribe. We're not charging anything from there for that. I'm not charging you to host the calls or anything like that, or money towards the website. I'm not even asking for donations towards the website. If you like our content, if you like what we talk about, if you like our journey, if you like the aspects about our lives, head over, have a look at some of the books that I'm writing, and if you like the look of them, you can buy them. That's all I'm going to ask. You know, I don't that you know we're not doing this for the money. We're doing this realistically for for the help to put ourselves out there to kind of gather this community together properly, without looking at it as a money making scheme. Yes, I'm going to charge for the books because it is my time. I'm paying for the publishing. I'm paying for the covers to be designed. I write them, but everything else has to be designed and formatted and published. So that's just going to come out of that basically. Um, with the Guardians Tribe, if you like what we're doing over there, you can come and have a look once it's ready. You can earn an income from that by sharing that platform out with others, and you can actually earn a really good full-time income from it. And the way we've devised it, again, we're about soul-led and sovereignty. So you can earn a good living from that. And we've made it so it's legacy built as well. So if you are with us for years, you can pass your income that you are generating on to your loved ones further down the line as well. So this is all tying in together as one big project for us, bringing communities together, giving people a way to travel around like we do for free, stay in some amazing places around the world, earning income from doing this as well. And then obviously we've got the tools and the guides and the books that we're creating from our adventures, from our lives, to help others that are starting on this journey as well. All right, guys. Well, it's time for me to love you and leave you. So love and light to you all as usual. Remember to look after yourselves and each other. And that's it from me until the next time. Take care and God bless.